Round 1.
I'm sure you're all wondering, how did a guy like you get stuck in a situation like that? Well, you better buckle up, because this story is going to get bumpy. I guess this needs some backstory. You see, I recently played the remastered versions of Resident Evil 2 and 3, and I have to be honest, the games were good. Pretty damn good, in fact. The graphics were good, the game controls were superb, and the puzzles were simple enough for even a meathead like myself to comprehend. The game had a decent trophy list, and some of the more difficult trophies, such as completing the game without healing or using the item chest, were difficult, but at the same time fair. The platinum for the games weren't a burden to complete, but rather a joy. Forgive me if I go as far to say that I love the games, even if they did cause me to soil myself on a few occasions. And this goes... No! 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 So it would come as no surprise that once these games were complete, I was left craving more, and so I decided I might as well go back to the beginning, all the way back to Resident Evil Remastered. Now, the first thing to note about this game is that it's a remaster of the original. The first Resident Evil game came out for the PlayStation all the way back in 1996, which is so old that some of you watching this video may have not been born yet. Later on, the game was remastered for the GameCube console in 2002. So when I say that I'm playing the remastered version, I'm talking about the remastering from 20 years ago. But despite that fact, the game holds up surprisingly well. The graphics are pretty good, the game mechanics are fine, and the story is manageable. I played through the game a few times and thought that the experience was okay. That is, until I went for my last trophy, the knife-only run. Being a scrub, I set the difficulty to very easy and sped through the game. I got stuck on a few places, but things went pretty good. That is, until the end of the playthrough, where I came to a terrifying conclusion. I had forgotten to read the fine print. You see, not only was I supposed to do the run without using any guns, but I wasn't supposed to use any of the self-defense items either. I had wasted over 4 hours of my life to have failed on a technicality, and now I would have to do the entire run over again if I was to platinum the game. At first I shrugged off my defeat and decided that the trophy wasn't worth the effort. I'm a grown adult, and it's not like I was going to lose any sleep over the fact that I had tripped at the finish line. Right? Well, unable to rise above my crippling obsessive-compulsive nature, I blocked off an entire afternoon and decided that this day, I would triumph over Resident Evil. And I would claim that platinum trophy for myself. And for an added bit of spice, I would be playing on easy, 1 degree higher on the difficulty ranking than the last playthrough. Shouldn't be a problem. We begin our story in a spooky woods where we meet some friendly strays, run for our lives, and find a spooky mansion. Totally not the villain Wesker decides that we should split up. I go exploring, interrupt a gentleman having a dinner, and discover that my friends have disappeared. There is a gun lying on the floor, but I don't believe in the Second Amendment, and the only thing I need to get through this zombie-filled mansion is my trusty stabby knife. First thing I do is steal a priceless artifact, break it apart, and jam the tip into a rock, revealing a trap door. Inside is a spooky book with the sword key. I run back into the mansion, investigate a tub filled with murky water, enjoy a jump scare, and get a different key, which opens the door so I can grab some herbicide. I snag a dog whistle, blow it, fight a dog, and steal its collar. Using the imitation key in the collar, I navigate my way through an obvious trap, Indiana Jones style. Snag the armor key, then do a little bit of gardening to get a disgusting looking mask. After dodging a few zombies that wanted to say hello, I ran into Richard and Rebecca. Richard has been bitten by a giant snake, and I need to get serum from the other side of the mansion in order to save his life. I wander around the mansion, wrapping up a few odds and ends, and encounter the greatest sound effect in the game. I return a few minutes later and find that Richard is dead. Oh no. If only I had been faster. I snag a piece of music out of a secret closet and make my way to a piano to perform my magnum opus. It turns out I'm a big dummy, and I don't know how to play the piano. But it's okay, because Rebecca knows stuff, and with a few minutes of practice, she'll know Moonlight Serenata like the back of her hand. I complete a puzzle and grab the second mask, get bamboozled by a dog, discover a zombie party room, and complete the light puzzle. The third mask is mine. And once Rebecca has the piano figured out, I can get into the secret room, swap crests, and complete the clock puzzle. But not before enjoying the shortest cutscene in video game history.
Were you alright in there?
Yeah.
I stumble into Jan's lair, then simply ignore the giant snake by running around him and grabbing the last mask. All of this was so I could hang the masks on a wall and drop a coffin from the ceiling. Inside is an item that I need, but before I can get it, I have to fight the Crimson Head. Jumpin' Jesus, the Crimson Head. While playing the game on very easy, I had blown past this boss in one try, but apparently upping the difficulty 1 level has made him virtually impossible. I found myself stuck on the stupid boss for over an hour, and the worst part wasn't trying to beat him, it was the fact that after dying you have to first go back to the menu, reload from the last save, run back to the crypt, place the final mask, then watch the animation before fighting.
Wow. What a douche.
My thoughts exactly, Carlos. Words alone cannot adequately describe the torment that I was subjected to while trying to get past this guy. In fact, the only way to encapsulate the sheer amount of bullshit that I had to endure is through the wonders of a musical montage. With this dually bob in hand, I'm able to get to the spooky cabin in the woods, find a crank, drain a pool of water, and get into the other residence. Inside I had to fight sharks, bees, giant spiders, and an overgrown houseplant. I complete a book puzzle with a naked lady on it and discover a chemistry set, but apparently I'm too stupid to understand the intricacies of science. I rush in to fight Plant 42, but I am bamboozled yet again, and must rely on Rebecca to help me. For you see, she is smart and knows all of the science. Just a small puzzle stands before me and a poisonous concoction that can weaken the plant. But alas, the puzzle involves my greatest arch nemesis, math. After 20 minutes and a quick phone call to apologize to my high school math teacher, I take the chocolate milk and begin to head back down into the lab. It is at this moment that I come to a horrific realization. If I had saved Richard, then the game would have never started the cutscene with the plant grabbing Chris, and I wouldn't have to play as Rebecca. Now, playing as Rebecca isn't the problem, it's the fact that she starts holding a gun. My heart sinks as I begin to debate a terrifying reality. Have I already failed the knife-only challenge because Rebecca is holding the gun? Or does she actually have to fire it to fail? With starting over an unfathomable choice, I soldier on. Rebecca tosses the chocolate milk on the plant's roots, and Chris is freed and ready to begin the most epic of boss fights as he braces to battle an oversized houseplant.
One eternity later.
With the plant dead, I get the final key, have a quick chat with totally not evil Wesker, battle lizard people, switch on the elevator power, and grab a car battery that is stored in a broom closet. Things should be smooth sailing from here on out. I would like to retract my previous statement. I can no longer avoid the inevitable. I must battle a gigantic snake with nothing but my trusty knife. How am I to accomplish such a task? Well, there can only be one possible song that can adequately sum up the sheer hilarity of the fight that will ensue as I run in circles and continually poke a snake in the butt. I grab a coin that was hidden in a book, snag a jewelry box, and hear a terrified scream coming from upstairs. And like a total boss, I race upstairs to save Rebecca. She may be smart enough to do math, but I am a massive meathead and have the tactical skills to kill a gigantic abomination with nothing but a knife. With Rebecca saved, I try to continue on with the game, but my health is but a sliver, and I find myself boxed in by the lizard man's much stronger and much angrier older brother. I am starting to regret saving Rebecca. After 5 deaths and much cursing, I get past the frog dude. I make my way into a cave. completely avoid an even more gigantic spider, play with a trash compactor, open an iron gate, and shove a couple of rocks into a ravine. The game is rapidly reaching its conclusion as I enter the laboratory. Here I prove that I too can do the science by studying basic human anatomy, hacking into a Windows 1 computer terminal, and using a water bottle filled with nitroglycerin to power an elevator. Together with my best friend Rebecca, we ascend the elevator to discover that Wesker has been the bad guy all along. He shoots my best friend and then commits the ultimate supervillain sin, monologuing. The tyrant is unleashed, but I have fought and prevailed over the Crimson Head. How bad could this guy be? The answer turns out to be pretty bad. A few deaths later and I pull out my long-lost Dark Souls knowledge and tiptoe behind the tyrant, poking him in his muscular buttocks. It turns out that Rebecca is alive somehow, and I even find the time to save Jill. With the self-destruct sequence activated, we race to the roof. I activate the signal flare, and we sit back and wait for this whole mess to blow over. I have again fucked up, and have decided to give myself an optional boss fight. It turns out that by deciding not to save Rebecca and Jill, I could have avoided this fight. But it's 3 against 1, so how bad could it be? I mean, I at least have Rebecca? Oh, Jesus Christ. It turns out that my earlier butt pokes have caused the tyrant to go Super Saiyan, and he pimp slaps me into oblivion while I wildly flail with my pointy stick. And just when all seems lost, a rocket launcher falls from the heavens. And it's just that easy. No, you bitch! And it's just that easy. We board the helicopter and enjoy a fireworks display. The credits roll, and now the moment of truth. Yes, I have done it. The final trophy, and subsequently, the platinum is mine. The run took me a total of 4 hours and 16 minutes. I have killed 17 creatures, saved 19 times, and made 1 jar of tasty chocolate milk. This game is now over, and the nightmare has ended. I don't know what new adventures will be in store for me in the future, but the only thing I can say is this: there better not be any more math involved. No!